Perfect.
Sit down here and get comfy. Hi.
Hi.
Better get my ears on so I can hear you better. Yay.
Perfect. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you sound great.
Thanks.
All right. Got all my notes and my things. Thank you for taking the time with me today.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Yes, of course. You are my second episode in the Brave Mom series, and I just spoke with another mom the other day and shared her story, and I'm like, this is the best idea, and I'm just so thankful to be able to celebrate all of our little ones, our medical warriors and our bereaved mamas, and yeah, I'm just finding it very healing, and I think there's no one else that just gets it when I can talk to someone like you. So that means a lot to me.
Great. That means a lot to me too. I actually listened to your podcast this morning.
No, you didn't. Oh,
Yeah, I listen to your podcast all the time.
no way. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. But yeah, so then I listened to the other one that you just did. So I was like, okay.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, good, cool. Okay, so I have my little intro, and then I have some questions I want to make sure I don't get to. I mean, our conversation will flow and it'll go as we go. But if you see me writing notes, it's because I don't want to forget to ask something that might pop up in my head.
Okay, no problem.
And then yeah, it'll be really good. So okay, I will start, and then my producer Denny, he magically puts it all together, makes all the sounds and the little outros by Bella, and he adds all those in and stuff. So yeah, we'll get started. Okay, all right. Hello, Brave Gang. Welcome back to the Brave Cave. Today's Brave Mom is my guest, Ashley Hernandez from Kleefeld, Manitoba. And Ashley, if I mess up any words, just correct me when I'm done.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. So Ashley's a bereaved mom to her beautiful daughter, Aliyah Hernandez, who passed away in her parents' arms just 2 days after turning 19 months old. Aliyah was diagnosed with an aggressive neuroblastoma only 3 days after her 18th month birthday, after being taken to their local children's hospital for breathing troubles. She and her family were quickly flown to the Stollery Children's Hospital in Edmonton, where they spent those precious final weeks together. Aliyah had the biggest brown eyes and a smile that could light up any room. Today, Ashley is here to honor Aliyah's story and the love that continues to grow through her. A love that shows just how brave and beautiful motherhood can be, even in loss. So thank you, Ashley, for being here with me to celebrate your little girl.
Thank you for having me. This is like, honestly, I feel like it's so empowering as a bereaved mom. And yeah, I just like, as you never want no one to ever forget Bella and you want her legacy to go on. That's how I feel about my daughter.
Of course, yeah. It's like we were just saying a little bit there at the beginning before I started recording. There's nothing like having a conversation or just sitting with another mom who understands it, who's been there in the same place, and yeah, I just find it really comforting. So I'm really appreciative of your time today. So let's celebrate your little girl, your angel. Can you tell me about Aliyah and what she was like, life with her brother, and what life was like leading up to her diagnosis?
Yeah. So Aliyah she was always happy. And she was that baby that just was happy, and she loved her brother so much. Like from the moment that she was born, like they just had this like inseparable bond. And like just as she grew up, like as like leading up to it, like their play, like they were always together. Always together. And as soon as she would wake up, like I remember like a few days, or I guess maybe like 2 weeks before everything had happened, I remember like she was jumping in her crib and she was excited because she just woke up. And I went in there and she goes, "No." And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Not mom." She goes, "No." And then all of a sudden, like our son Benjamin comes running, and she's like, "Yeah!" And she's like jumping up and down in her crib, just so excited to see him.
Oh,
And she loved Miss Rachel.
oh, I read that in your
Yes.
notes. I haven't
Yeah.
I'm not from the Miss Rachel era. Bella was she loved Tupi Binu. Do you know Tupi and Binu?
I know of them. Yes.
Yeah, that was her jam. But I
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
and Waylon, my son, he's 7 now, so he's out of the he missed the Mrs. Rachel days, I
That's
think.
fair. Yes. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah. So, and like, because she loved Miss Rachel, there wasn't like much, like, Miss Rachel started coming with stuff after, or like kind of like during, I guess, like just before everything happened is kind of when it started lining up. So I remember we went to Walmart, like this was after she passed away, and we saw her like a Miss Rachel doll.
Oh, look at that.
And so we like have it, like, because she loved it so much, we actually bought it, and we were like, hey, we're gonna put it here beside her little memorial shelf. And
Yeah.
yeah, but
I was
she was just sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just gonna say that like, do you have special ways that like I carry Bella's special little bunny called Rosie with us, and I try and take Rosie with us when we go on special adventures. Do you do something like that with Miss Rachel?
Not Miss, that's actually a really good idea. I didn't do that. We haven't done that yet, just because I always think like she didn't have the doll with her, right? Like,
Mhm. Right,
but then
right.
that is a really good idea. I actually really like that. I do actually have a necklace with her handprint and her footprint on it. So
Oh,
that kind of, and so does my husband. So that kind of always goes around with us.
yeah, like a way to carry her with you. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. Um, Can you, before we move on to the next question, which I kind of want to know about things like leading up to the diagnosis and stuff, but Bella also has a little brother, and can you let us know how Benjamin's doing, how he's coped, or you've helped him cope since losing his sister?
He's doing fairly well. Like, he's struggling, obviously.
Yeah,
Um, but when we came back from Edmonton, um, so our son stayed here with my parents while we were out there, just because it was such a, like,
yeah,
she was in the PICU right away and then sedated, right? So,
yeah.
um, so yeah, so he stayed here, and then we were staying at the Ronald McDonald House, and then they would come back and forth. Um, but he's really struggled with separation anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
and like we had to be in the same room with him. He had to be like glued to our hips at all times. Like, he was scared if I went out quickly, like just stuff like that.
Yeah,
So it was just like, we've just done like a lot of reassurance, like, you're safe, we love you. We talk about Aliyah all the time with him.
yeah,
um
yeah,
Yeah, and we also do like, he's always, every time he sees something like a pink sky, or if he sees a rainbow or a bunny, because she loved bunnies and she loved Miss Rachel's Hop Little Bunny song. So anytime we see bunnies, those are always signs. We always say they're signs from Aliyah. So
yeah.
he's really good in looking for the sign from Aliyah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I think Waylon can relate to a lot of how Benjamin must feel. I remember when we closer to when like within a couple months after losing Bella, I mean we had such a long medical road with her, and Waylon became a part of that when Bella was 5. But even after losing her, I remember him being quite stressed if I was to just even go to Walmart, because so much of his life was me leaving at the drop of the hat to go to the hospital with Bella. And so he just got worried, like, just while he was processing her being gone, he had a lot of anxiety around me leaving him for long periods of time after that. I noticed that too. Yeah,
Yeah, that's hard.
it's heavy on them. Yeah. Um,
Hmm.
can you take us back to when you first realized something wasn't right, and the details around like that decision, or when you made that decision to take her to the hospital or the doctor?
Yeah, so it was like weeks leading up to it, because she just started with a cold, but she was still happy. She wasn't really eating too much, and so we were like, okay, like she's probably teething. She's not feeling good. She's kind of got a cough, um, and again, she seemed like her like happy normal self. So then one day I took her to the doctor's just because she started seeming unwell, like just a little bit more. And she wasn't her happy self as much. And they had told me, like, I just took her to a walk in clinic.
Hmm.
And then they had told me that she had strep. And I was like, oh, okay, like, makes sense, like, right? So then we put her on antibiotics. And then she would get better for a little bit. And then she got sick again. And I was like, again, like another virus. And she had just started daycare recently. Like, so I'm like, okay, all these bugs are coming in. Um, this is can be normal, right? Like I had no concerns. And then she got this like bum rash, and they also said it was also from strep. Um, and something just didn't feel right. I'm like, you know what? And then they said ear infection. So she was on 2 rounds of antibiotics, and she still, again, it helped a little bit, but not much. So then I ended up bringing her to a local hospital, like to where we are. And just because her breathing started not getting great. And we had a snowstorm the night before. So I didn't want to bring her right to children's because I'm like, that's a pretty far trek, like, especially with the snow. And so I brought her to our hospital, and they were like, well, they took a scan and they said that she had pneumonia. And I'm like, hey, that like it makes sense again. But then they said in the scan that it looked like her heart was enlarged.
Hmm.
And that threw me off because I'm like, what? And so then they were like, hey, just monitor her, gave her puffers, gave her antibiotics, everything. And the next day I said to my husband, I said, you know what? She's like, I know that she hasn't been on these antibiotics long in the puffers, but something just doesn't seem right. And we waited a little bit, and like she was just like, didn't want anything to do with her brother, like nothing. Like she was just uncomfortable. So we brought her to our children's hospital in Winnipeg, and they brought us in right away just because her breathing. And we spent the night in emergency, and then we went to PICU, and that's where we got the devastating news that she had an aggressive neuroblastoma that was behind her heart. And like it was so big that it was behind her heart, like wrapped around her heart and into her stomach.
Okay, so for those of us that are trying to understand, I've I want to be careful with my words because I don't want to sound very naive and I want to be respectful, but is that, not knowing a lot about this type of cancer, is that like a mass that grows that they would,
Yes.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
and so
So it's a
then
tumor.
a tumor, okay.
Oh,
And
sorry. Yeah. A tumor. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So and did they, what officially made that diagnosis? Was it another x-ray or blood work or both, or?
They did an x-ray, and then they still were unsure. So then they did a CT scan, and then
Oh,
that's where they saw it. Yeah.
wow. Wow. Um, and so then did she actually have all these other things on top of that, like strep and pneumonia?
They
And
don't think so.
oh wow, okay. And
Yeah.
so
So they think, sorry.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say, and then from that point, is that when they had airlifted you to, or was it, what was it all, like you were in Manitoba, right?
Yeah.
And the children's was in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And so this is where they were discovering this at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so then what was the next steps from there?
So the next steps were to get a biopsy, but because it was so like, because it was kind of, it was just right by her heart and wrapped around, it was very tricky. And because out like in Manitoba, we don't have the ECMO machine,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't remember. Like, I don't remember what it stands for. I should have looked into that, but it's pretty much just like that's her heart and her lungs.
Right. I think
It's that machine that acts like that.
yeah. I was gonna say I've had a few friends I think that have described that to me in the past, and it's where it acts as the heart and the lungs for the child, and it's a special
Yes.
machine that does that.
Yeah, and so because of where the tumor was placed, they had to she was on ECMO alert, and it was high risk. So we had gotten flown to the Stutlery in Edmonton, and it was like just like a pretty like it was like let's go now. So it was just couldn't even say goodbye to our son. So we went, and um we arrived in the evening, and the next day she was going for her biopsy surgery. And originally we were kind of walking around, we were nervous, right? Like all the things, feeling all the emotions. And someone had come and had taken the ventilator out of the room. And because at this point she was not sedated, she was just on oxygen. And they were like, oh, everything went good. Like she actually doesn't need it. She didn't need ECMO. I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. That's great. But then it ended up being she actually did need the ventilator. So from that day of when she went on, like after the biopsy, she was sedated for 58 days where we couldn't hold her.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then, so she didn't need ECMO then. So we were like, okay. And they said, like, she still is on the alert for ECMO, of course. Um, and she did 3 emergency radiation treatments, 2 rounds of chemo, and she ended up getting put on to ECMO. I believe it was roughly a week, maybe it was maybe 5 to 7 days after her biopsy. Um, and yeah, we couldn't hold her. And finally, when we were finally able to hold her, it was 58 days.
And so what was her when that wait was finally over and you got to hold her, what was her state like then? Was
She was
she
still sedated.
okay? Yeah.
Um, and like, sorry.
No.
So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, so
So
my
sorry.
parents and our son actually ended up being in Edmonton that time. So they had come, and like we had our time with her first, just because they weren't sure that when they lifted her, if she would pass away like soon or if it would be later. Um, and yeah, she kind of peeked her eyes open a very little bit, like just a little bit, and she kind of gave my husband like a little smirk.
Mm.
But then, yeah, but it just felt so nice to hold her finally.
When in those 58 days, were they able to give you some sort of hope that this could turn around at all? Or was it
Um, they had said that they've never seen, this is like, she was a really rare case, and they've actually never seen a case like hers. Um, so they weren't really sure how it was going to go, but she was pretty much like high risk the whole entire time. So pretty much it was like anything could happen.
yeah. Yeah. And so they had treated with you had said like the emergency rounds of radiation.
Yeah.
And what were they hoping that that would do? And did it do what they wanted it to?
They were hoping that it would shrink it like
Mm.
faster. But unfortunately, it only shrank after this. Like, so the 3 rounds of radiation did not shrink it. It didn't grow, but it didn't shrink. Same with after the first round of chemo. And when she started this, after the second round of chemo, it shrank a bit.
So this is so rare to them and they haven't seen it. They're kind of throwing what they can at it, what they know they can to
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
So 58 days is over. You finally get to hold her. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's
Uh,
okay.
what 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 was your state like at that point? Were you still really, really hopeful? I know for myself, when Bella was in the chemo, sorry, in the PICU and sedated, it was like I am always trying to speak positive and for her like through every surgery, and I'd always try to either trick or force my mind to be positive, like she's gonna come out of this, is gonna be okay. Um, Even when all the odds are against them and they have the rarest form of rare whatever diagnosis. Um, when you finally got to hold her, did you have some hope? Was it just too overwhelming? Too many things going on? What was it like for you at that point to just be able to hold her again and then look to the future?
Honestly, I was like devastated. Like, because at that point, I kind of knew that there was nothing, I knew that she wasn't going to wake up, that they have tried everything. Um, and also, so I failed to mention that after the second round of radiation, they actually did a scan of her brain as well, because they couldn't do the PET scan or they were supposed to do the PET scan, but just like she was just so critical that they couldn't. And this other test they did to trace it didn't show if there was cancer anywhere else. So, and something that because she was on ECMO for so long, that there's a high risk of stroke. And she actually did have a stroke, we found out.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so that was before she passed away. So when we found out she had a stroke, I wasn't losing hope. Because they said that like it was what they call, I guess, a mini stroke. So it wasn't, and it was part of her brain that she would still be able to function. It would just take a lot of physio and a lot of work to get where she was, and maybe she would never be fully up to what she was before. So I kind of, when that moment happened, it's like days leading up to it, I almost felt like she wasn't there. Just because like I would like sometimes her eyes would kind of open a little bit. And when I was there, it's just like she wasn't there a little bit. And I still kept hanging on to hope because I'm like, she just needs to wake up. We can work through whatever happens. Like she just needs to wake up. So when they finally placed her in my arms, um, yeah, I just knew that was the end. Um, but my mind was kind of everywhere, because I just thought like sometimes I just kind of hoped, like, and even after she passed away, we still held her. We still talked to her, sang to her, loved her, and we waited till the funeral home came to get her, and we gave her a bath. And I still like the whole entire time, like even though I knew she wasn't gonna wake up and she was gone, I just kept looking because I'm like, what if she starts breathing? Like, just what if? Like, what if all of a sudden she like beats this or something?
yeah. We have quite the cry fest going on here, but
Right? Yeah.
you're you're saying so much of exactly what I went through with Bella too, and I think I just feel your pain, and I want to just reach through the screen and give you a big hug.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Me too.
yeah, um, it sucks, but there is some sort of comfort in knowing that you understand um,
Yeah.
what that is like. Just thinking about our girls and understanding those moments. Um, Bella was similar in a sense that with everything the doctors were telling us, against the hope that I was holding so tight to, um, it was so hard to hear them say things that made you lose hope. Like her
Yes.
heart, like all of the scientific facts and real life visual things that we could see in the monitors, and her state that's telling us her heart is tired. Um, it's, like the machines are keeping her alive at this point, and that feeling like you had described, like she's done, like she's not really here, but their heartbeat is telling us they are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so can you describe what grief looked like those few days after losing Aliyah compared to maybe like how things are now, which I think you're close to 7 months now without her?
Yeah. Um, yeah. So it was just so heavy. Like, I just, even walking out of the hospital that night, like, I just remember thinking, like, how do we go on? Like, how do I, like, so Benjamin, her brother, had come and said his goodbyes, right? But he was only like, he was 4.5 at the time. So they can only understand so much, right?
Yeah.
Um, and it was just so hard because when we went back to the, like, so we went back to the Ronald McDonald house, and our son in the morning was like, oh, like, are we going to go see Aliyah? And it's like, you wake up and you're like, wow, okay, like, that wasn't just a really bad nightmare. Like, that did happen. That did happen. And it feels so devastating that you, because as like mom, you always bring your kids, right? Like, you bring them to the hospital, you take them back. So it was so weird, like, leaving without her. Like, so weird. Like, it felt like I had to keep reassuring myself, like, I did just leave her somewhere, right? Like, this did happen. Like, she did pass away. Like, and it was just like a lot of reassurance. And we had to stay in Edmonton a few days longer after she passed away because we just had to wait for paperwork and everything. And so with our son there, we had him for 2 more days with us, and we wanted to be strong, but we also wanted him to know that it's okay to, feel your emotions. It's okay to be upset. So but we held a lot back, I feel. Yeah, and we just pretty much tried to, like, because we didn't see him for very much and very long, we just tried to, like, pour into him and just, like, love him. And yeah.
Yeah. Um, I had a friend who was in works in like social work with kids and families, and she had said she gave me some really good advice. She was with us through a lot. Her daughter was really good friends with Bella, and she was with us through a lot in our journey. And she had said for Waylon, like her Bella's brother, that it's I mean, she's worked with kids that have grieved siblings and parents, and she's like, it's so hard to have to rip that band-aid off and explain to them what had happened, but you have to, in a sense, so that they don't continue to think they're coming back. And I found that so freaking hard.
Yeah.
That was really difficult to explain that to him, as I imagine it was for Benjamin too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um have you did you have any grief support that stood out to you? So like either from day one or up until months later, did you have any sort of grief support that stood out to you? Or is there something lacking that you wish was in place?
Honestly, um because she had cancer, so we had, like, an oncologist social worker, and she kind of, like, checked in with me the next day and then the day after, just to make sure that everything was okay, like, or that we were doing okay. But I'm gonna be 100% honest, like, it was your podcast. It
Oh.
was your podcast that I felt like I could finally relate to somebody, as heartbreaking as that is. And, like, the reason, but because I remember, like, seeing Bella on TikTok, and then I started following you on Instagram. Um, and I just thought, like, because when I first saw that, like, that was before everything had happened with Aliyah. And I just remember seeing your post about Bella passing away, and my heart just shattered. Like, I just couldn't imagine what you were feeling. And a few months after, then this all happened with Aliyah. And I just, like, I knew then, like, I needed to go to your podcast. I needed to, like, I knew there would be things we could relate with.
Oh,
And, like, I did do therapy as well, but therapy didn't start, I think, until
yeah.
I want to say it was like 2 months after she passed away.
That's like the exact same with yeah, exact same with us.
Yeah.
It took a little while afterwards to get the therapy going, but I'm so thankful for that. We had an
Yeah.
amazing grief therapist that my husband and I could see in our hometown here, and that was huge. Um I'm gonna be grabbing Kleenex for the rest of this day just hearing you say that. What my podcast did for you, that's just everything I've hoped for with starting it. So thanks for saying that. Um,
Of course.
if there was something you could say or would want to say to a newly bereaved mom who is just starting this journey and maybe listening in right now, what's something that you'd want to say to her?
I would say never stop speaking your child's name. Never. Because they're a part of you, and they may not be here physically, but they're here with us. Um, and as hard as it is, and that you feel like you're never going to get through, you do find a way how to cope through it. Um, and things will get a bit better. We're never going to be those same people that we were prior to our child passing away. Like, those people that piece of us is gone. But just to find your people, because through this all, I honestly have found my group of core people. And I don't think without everything happening, I don't know if I necessarily would have, like, if those friendships would have flourished, like with my village and my support. So lean on people. And I know it's so hard to ask for help, and I'm still reminding myself that to this day, but just ask for help if it's too hard. Talk to somebody, listen to the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so beautiful and well put. Um, has there been anything that surprised you about grief? Something you didn't expect before having to live with it? I didn't what surprised me, I didn't realize how much I don't know how to word this, but honestly, I didn't realize how much I would need it. I didn't realize how much it wasn't something I am supposed to fight. Do you know, like, that it's something I need to share, to continue to share the love that Bella and I had. It's
Yes.
more of a need than something I always envisioned as like having to fight. That really surprised me about it.
Yes. I would say something similar. Like, I always thought, like, I think it changed my perspective on the way I look at grief. Like, I'm grieving because we loved someone so much, right? And like, how, like, as sad as it is to grieve and for them not to be here with us, but how special is it that they were here, even for a short amount of time, but that we got to love them, and we got to be their mom, and we got to make them feel safe and so, so loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, have you by any chance had any little signs or moments where you felt Aliyah close to you, or ways um that you like to keep close to her in spirit?
Yes. So the night of her passing, um, it was around, so we left the hospital around midnight, and we decided we were going to walk back to the Ronald McDonald House, just because we felt like we needed to clear our heads and just get some air. So we were walking back, and I mentioned Aliyah loved bunnies and the Miss Rachel song. And so after she passed, like when she was passing away, we just told her like that we loved her so much, and at the end we said, like, thank you for letting us be your mommy and your daddy. We love you so much. And we said to her, like, go hop, little bunny, like, go play. And on our way home, we saw two bunnies, like two big white bunnies, and they were hopping around playing. And all of a sudden, me and my husband looked at each other and were like, are those bunnies? And they were big bunnies. Like, they weren't just baby bunnies. And so then all of a sudden they left, but then one came back hopping, and it's like we made eye contact. It was weird. And then yeah, and then they hopped back, and that was like a sign. We think that was a sign from her. Sorry.
Yeah.
Letting us know that she's okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's so good. Oh. Um, if there was something you wish people would ask you about Aliyah, something you love sharing, what would that be?
I think like just her like she was I know she was like not even quite 2 yet, but she was just so caring and so nurturing, but she also had such a wild side to her and a sassy side. Like we were starting to see it so much that we were like, "Oh my gosh, what are we going to do like when she gets older?" Because the sass was so strong. Um like I have a video of her like this was days before like probably about a few days before or a week before everything had happened, and she was in her new jammies after her bath, and she climbed up on the table that was beside our island, like a little kids table. And I kind of looked and I'm like, what? Like since when did we do that? Like what's happening? I'm like, get down. And then she looked back at me and she had this like side eye and this like look on her face, like, no. And she pulls out dad's wallet and she starts opening it. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, you need to get down, like feet on the floor. Like, so that's just like, it's just, yeah, like,
Yeah.
and anytime, like, if Benjamin was sad, like, she would instantly go to him and just like hug him and like see if he was okay. Or like, she gave the biggest hugs, like, even though she was so little. Like, I remember every time after changing her diaper, she'd stand up and she'd wrap her little arms right around our necks and squeeze so tight.
Oh. What a sweetheart. Oh, let the sass be strong. Oh, this
Right? Yeah.
little firecracker mentality is adorable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For for all of us listening in today, I'd love to know if you could tell us how you would like us to remember your Aliyah and how you would like us to honor her.
I think I would just like, because she was so happy, I think just trying to always find the positive things in life because life is so short. And if you see a bunny,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's so crazy you say that. Bella's her she always loved stuffies and she always would say you're never too old to carry a stuffy, and her favorite at the time of her passing was Rosie, and she's little pink bunny. And I always tell Bella, I'm like, if you want to send me any winks with bunnies, I mean, mommy will be watching. I'll be watching if you want to send me some. And then and I'll see bunnies in the cutest way, in a different way, and just even with you talking about it today and the connection with Aliyah, it just has my heart full. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll definitely be thinking of Aliyah every time I look at Bella's Rosie for sure.
Yeah.
I like ending my podcasts asking my guests what does being brave mean to you?
I think it just means, even though things might be scary, and we might be in like, we might be in a place in life where we never thought we would be, just facing it and staying strong, but always being kind
100%.
and doing and just reminding yourself that we can do hard things.
Yeah. Yeah. You can look at fear in the face and smile and know
Exactly.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, you can do it. We can do hard things.
Yeah.
Uh, thank you so much, Ashley, for sharing Aliyah with us, for letting us feel her light through your words. Your story reminds us all that even though our children's time may have been far, far too short, their love is lifelong and continues to shape who we are. I'm beyond grateful to honor Aliyah here today and share her story with the world. Thank you again, Ashley, for being here. Um,
Thank you so much for having me.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. We can end here or we can chat some more. If there's something I didn't ask you that you want to be asked, I mean, let me know. If there's anything
Okay.
else you want to chat about, we got time.
Okay. Something that Like, what do you do? How have you been doing self-care?
Ooh, good. I like. Ooh, flipping the
I'm trying
script
to
here.
get in more into that. Yes.
Okay, I have. I I love this is gonna I don't know if this is gonna sound cheesy or too I really love taking time for skincare. I want to do better at feeling stronger and lifting weights. And so I'm trying to like habit stack. And right now I'm doing a good job of like taking care of my skin. And so I like to take at least 5 or 10 minutes before bedtime. And it's gotten to the point, it's you're gonna laugh, but it's gotten to the point where like I will remember my skincare before I remember brushing my teeth, but there's just something about it that's like soothing.
Yep.
And I it's something I found easy to do for myself every day. And then I okay, so I don't know if you've listened to my recent podcast about my kidneys when I had kidney damage that I
Yes.
reversed.
Yes.
Okay, so I kind of went overboard with the self-care in trying to compensate with all these supplements. And it turns out you can like overcompensate and like with supplements, which I was so like just don't go overboard. Do what you can do. Do what I'm trying. I'm reminding myself that self-care needs to be healthy.
And too much is clearly not.
Too much is clearly not. So, you know, but I'm also remembering, like, I'm also reminding myself of like things that I'm doing really well at, like, kind of like little like things I'm giving myself a little pat on the back for, like my anxiety medication, like self care was, making sure I went to my mental health nurse and having those therapy sessions, grief therapy sessions, asking for help in terms of like taking anti-anxiety medication. And I'm been really happy with myself lately that I've actually been able to come down on that dosage and almost feel strong enough to come off of that, which I'm just like, wow, I didn't know I could be here. I didn't know I could be here and kind of bring my body back to a place that feels whole and strong. I know after losing Bella, I felt so physically sick. And I know that stress has taken a toll on my body, and hence why I've overcompensated with supplements and whatever. But I'm remembering the little wins, and one of those is feeling well enough to come almost off of my anti-anxiety medication and feel strong enough that way in this grief journey. I need to have like a warm cup of something every morning, whether it's tea or decaf coffee with cream. Um, and what else could I say for self-care? Um, taking time. I've noticed lately, not I don't want to say sit in silence because that might sound weird to people, but honestly, sometimes self-care for me is like winding down with nothing no screen in my face, no headphones on, no music. I'm finding sometimes that I need some like peace and quiet, and just taking time for that. Like even if I go on a walk, sometimes I'm just too overwhelmed to have noise in my ears or something on the TV if I'm on my treadmill, and I'm like, no, it's okay to just take some deep breaths and just sit with my thoughts for a little bit. Kind of
Yeah.
another way to process the grief. Let myself cry. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
could go on for a while. I like, I
Right?
like, I like, I like that topic. That's a good one. Yeah, yeah. What about you? What have you been trying out in that area?
I actually started skincare too, because
Oh,
that's definitely something that, yeah, that we can just do ourselves, and it's not like something that we have to. It's not something huge, right?
yeah,
It's just something simple.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I like
yeah,
the way.
that's kind of what I've been.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry. I was gonna say I like the way it helps me wind down in the day.
Yes.
You know what else
Yes.
I did? Okay, so everyone and their dog is like loving red light therapy. I
Oh.
like, have you heard about red light therapy? It's supposed to help your skin. Like, people have like the red light masks, or they have like the red light saunas.
Yep.
You know what I went? I went to Walmart and I got like I don't know, it was probably $2, $2 maybe four, I don't even know. I just got a red bulb, and that's what I replaced my regular bulb in the lamp in my bedroom. And so
Oh,
it kind of it's a better way to help you fall asleep if you have red light instead of like screen light, blue light, or white light. It
yeah.
helps your body kind of deflate, not deflate, but like decompress and like get ready for bed, and just helps with like calming your body. Yeah, and so I was like, you know what, this is something easy I can do to put in my bedroom while I'm doing my skincare, and tells my brain to like calm down. We're gonna try and go to bed without your mind racing for 500 hours.
That's fair. Yes, that's kind of where I feel like I'm stuck right now.
Yeah,
Is I'm so mentally tired,
yeah,
but and physically too, but it's like I can't, like, sleeping can be hard at times. Like,
yeah, yeah. And then with my
yeah.
age too, being 42, I mean, this is part of why I went to my doctor, and he's like, yeah, your kidneys are not happy. But it was like, I don't know what is stress, what is grief, what is
Yes.
perimenopause, right? What's
Yeah.
just exhaustion. I'm like, what's what? Um,
Right? Yeah.
so I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna start with a foundational, something foundational I can do for myself, which is just get better sleep. And so that's, I've been focusing on helping my body get a better sleep, and you know, having less bright lights and blue lights around you
Yeah.
before you go to bed is helpful. And like a little light bulb that's red is cheap and easy to buy. And
Yeah. I think I'm going to go to Walmart today and get
yeah,
one.
yeah. And it kind of gives like a funky, like sensual glow too.
Yeah. That's fun. I should
Yeah.
put one in my son's room too.
Oh yeah, it helps the kiddos too. Yeah, my Waylon,
Yeah.
I'm like, he's like next level. But when the amazing Brave Spaces team redid the kiddos' bedrooms, he's got a cloud ceiling, and they have all those lights,
Yes.
and you can change them different colors. And so I often have his as red, and he loves red. That's his favorite color too. So he can wind down with a red cloud ceiling, which is pretty lucky.
I love that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How are your guppies doing?
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Well,
I had to, because anytime I listen to you, Lyle's like, I don't care about these guppies. Like, why are we still talking about that?
I'm so happy. I have to tell him you asked me. He's gonna be so jazzed. Like, people care, Lyle.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I am sadly down to 4 from 6. So my OG,
Okay.
my OG, like my orange male squirt, he died, and I think it's because the blue male guppy I have now. Okay, so there was a time when I thought the 6 I had left were all males. No, I'm pretty sure there's some females, and then Squirt and this blue guy, because he's like this gorgeous blue, and you know they're male when they're colorful.
Okay.
And so I'm pretty sure he fought Squirt, and he's like, "You're done. I'm the male man of this aqua tank now." And then because he's like one of the little fries that's now an adult, and I'm pretty sure he's the only male in the tank. Because now that they're full grown, the other females are like pale. There's no color to them, and then there's this bright little blue guy, and I'm like, oh, you wanted to rule the tank because you're the only male. And then
Okay.
yeah, and so I have my blue fry and pretty sure 3 females that he's just like jazzed to be in the tank with. But the weird thing is that there's brothers and sisters, and I'm like, fish are weird. This is weird.
That's so weird. Yeah, that's weird.
So I don't know if I'll have any more baby guppies if that works out that way or not. But I have 4 right
Right.
now. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Fun.
they're good. I just cleaned their tank the
Yeah.
other day, and they're loving it. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
thanks for asking.
Um, yeah, of course. I had to add that little funniness to it because I'm like,
Yeah,
I always hear about the updates.
yeah. I get lots of requests for updates. It's funny,
I
especially
believe it.
especially when I had those, like, it was crazy when I had those bouts of them like birthing other baby guppies, and I'm just like, what? How did I
Yeah.
become a fish breeder so fast? And then I had
Yeah.
like 2 back-to-back birthing tanks. Like, batch of like 5 and then another batch of like 2, and I'm like, what is happening in here? But anyways, all those guppies are dead now, so I'm like, I don't know what the new ones are gonna be.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and then um for what for the rest of the day, Waylon doesn't have school today, so he's upstairs right now watching a movie.
Oh,
Um, so
fun.
yeah, so I'm gonna go see what he's doing. He's got some homework for school tomorrow, and then I am off to give a talk. I'll have to like sort of maybe like kidnap Lyle in the Brave Cave again and get him to talk to me, because I'm really excited to share about a talk I'm giving at a youth conference this Thursday. I'm sharing our story and speaking at a youth matter conference this Thursday, and then I'm off to Toronto. And
Yeah,
then
I heard that in the podcast,
yeah,
so
yeah. So
be mix
busy
of
week.
emotions, I'm sure,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
very good.
yeah,
So,
yeah. It'll be a busy but really,
yeah.
really healing week that I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to. So yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I just want to say that I am beyond grateful that you gave me the space to share about Aliyah. Because that's something that I never want her. Like I never want, not that she'll be forgotten, but I just want her name out there still.
Yeah,
And
yeah, 100%. When Lyle and I were sitting down, and well, not even that, when I first put out on my Instagram like months ago, it was just Lyle and I talked about it. He's like, why didn't we think of this sooner? This is definitely a huge, purposeful, needed thing.
mhm.
And he's like, not that I don't love being your co-host on here, but he's like, this is needed. Like, and he's
Yeah.
like, no wonder you're these people asking to be on, moms asking to be on. No wonder those requests are flooding in. He's like, it's a need, and
Mhm.
yeah, I'm really,
Absolutely.
really happy I could do that. And thanks for taking the time. It means a lot to me too.
Thank
So
you.
yeah. Well, should I let you go? Um, what are you up to for the rest of the day?
I have to go get my son. He was at daycare and then I wasn't sure how long the recording would go. So then a friend
Oh
picked him up.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
I'm going to go get him and then it's a very rainy day here. So it's just going to be a very chill evening.
Same here. It is gross
Oh
outside.
yeah.
Yes, it's gross.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
does that mean snow's coming? Like, I'm not ready.
I mean, I'm happy I'm going to Toronto because I think it's still warmer there on the weekend, but I don't want to come back to snow. Ugh.
Nope,
Gross.
nope.
I'm not ready. We had so many warm days in September, like right to the end, even a little bit in
Yes.
October. Like spoiled with the warm weather in the fall this year. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, I don't want it to go.
I know. And now we're getting rain and we're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah.
I'll text you or email you.
Okay.
You should be episode 40. I'm gonna be in Toronto. I'll be home Monday when I want this to air, so it might be a little later on Monday when we
Okay.
have ours ready to go. But yeah,
Okay.
I'll make
Okay.
sure to
I'm
keep you posted.
excited.
Yeah, it'll be good. I'm excited
Okay.
too. Thanks again, Ashley. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
You too.